A really fun version of stand-up comedy is what a lot of people refer to as act-outs or characters or impersonations. Probably, in my opinion, the very best impersonator in the business right now is Frank Caliendo. And the reason is that he'll impersonate absolutely anybody. He's one of those people that we refer to as a template, meaning that once he finds the essence of an impersonation, then everybody else can do it. If you go research him on YouTube, look up Frank Caliendo on YouTube and look up John Madden, he was the very first person to come up with a John Madden impersonation. And then everybody else started to deliver theirs from there. He does a great Chris Farley, he does a standard Al Pacino. But if you look at some of his more recent stuff, he's an employee of ESPN now. And he does an impersonation of every single person that works at ESPN. He understands the essence of the character and their point of view, and then he drives his impersonations from there. He is absolutely 100% emotionally connected with every single character that he goes after. So when he does an impersonation, he's not trying to mimic, he's trying to capture their point of view. And once you can capture somebody's point of view, once you can empathize with who somebody is, the character comes through you so easily. This particular lesson isn't about how to do impersonations. It is something that I do a little bit of. One person you should really take a look at is David Carl. He's an incredibly talented impressionist. He has a show right now called Gary Busey's One Man Hamlet. He does all of Hamlet as every single character of Hamlet as played as though Gary Busey is playing those characters. It's an unbelievable show. Not necessarily stand-up comedy, but you can really take a look and see how someone can dive into somebody's character, manipulate their point of view, and say some incredibly funny things. Don't put yourself in the position of somebody that doesn't do impersonations or that doesn't tell stories. Don't try to tell yourself who you are as a comedian until you try everything. Maybe you don't do an Al Pacino impersonation or a celebrity impersonation, but I promise you, you do impersonations every single day. You mimic people that you work with, especially when you're making fun of a family member or a friend or when you're with a group of people. And those are all characters that you can put into your set, because as an audience, we may not know who these people are, but we know people that are just like them. And we can relate to them, and when you're telling a joke from their point of view, it's that much funnier and it's that much more entertaining. So for your next task, one of the people that really got me the most interested in stand-up comedy when I was a kid is a guy by the name of Bob Nelson. And you're going to want to look up Dangerfield's Bob Nelson. It is, to me, the best character work that I've seen to this date. Every single character that he does is a original character. They sometimes cross into the threshold of stereotypes, but they are real people as he hops from character to character to character. And there was a time where I could mimic his entire set because it was incredible. So that's your next task before you move on to a second task that I have for you. So check that out. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Bob Nelson still tours around the country. He's a little bit older than when that set appeared, I think in 1984, I think is when that appeared. But the second thing that I would like you to do right now is think of 3 people that you'd like to impersonate or mimic. And what I want you to do is write a 1-minute monologue for each of those people. It doesn't have to be funny. In fact, I would challenge you not to be funny. It could be someone that we know. It could be a celebrity, or it could be someone that nobody knows. Your sibling or your mother or your father or someone that's passed. It can be anybody. It needs to be human. And don't look for accuracy. Look for point of view. And hopefully choose somebody that has a very different point of view that you have. Because if you can walk around in the shoes of somebody that shares a very different worldview than you, you begin to add a lot of complexity to your own writing and your character work, and you'll also open up your mind to new ideas just in general. So 3 characters. They can be celebrities, friends, coworkers, anyone with a distinct personality or point of view, and write 3 separate monologues. And when you're done with that, I want you to create a dialogue that those 3 people can have for a minute. Practice it, film it, watch it back, and see how different you can be as you impersonate these 3 people.